In order to solve investment problem, we need to consider this formula I equals PRT. And this might be a simple, a very familiar formula to you. If you have not encountered this is the simple interest, which wherein I is equal to PRT, where P is your principal, R is the rate, T is the time, and I is your interest. Principal is the amount of money that you deposit when you invest something, okay? Or when you invest at a certain bank, you want your money to grow, then that is the amount of money, principal. Or when you are borrowing money, that amount of money is your principal. It both applies to an investment and lending. So if you invest your money at a certain bank, you want to grow your money, then this could be a formula that bank managers use. I equals PRT, or a bank use, not particularly manager, but the bank as a whole. And when you are lending, borrowing, I should say, when you are borrowing money, the amount of money you borrow is your principal. All right, since in this problem, in this application problem, we'll be considering T as annual. So your time here would be considered 1 year, because in all problems that we'll be solving here, your time is 1 year. And so that simplifies to I equals the principal times the rate times 1. When your when T is equal to 1 year, right? Remember that T can also be any, okay? Could be any year. Could be 2 year, 3 years, could be 2.5 years, and so on. And so that simplifies to a formula which is equal to I, in which is I equals the principal times your rate. Okay, given that your T is equal to 1 year. And so that is simply the formula that we're going to use here in most of the problems. But maybe in some problems, we might be using this formula I equals PRT. Okay. A student invested some money at an annual rate of 6%. If the annual interest is $240, how much did he invest? Okay. So let's use our 4 steps in solving word problem. The blueprint solving word problem. Step 1 being our word presentation. So let let x be, what's that? Let x be the amount invested. At what rate? At 6%. Right. So let x be the amount invested at 6%. That's our first step. Now we look for our equation here. This formula equals PRT. But since we know that T here in this section is equal to 1 year, so by the word annual, if the annual interest is 240, so we consider that T here is equal to 1. Therefore, our formula, which is I equals PRT, where T is equal to 1, can now be simplified to I equals the principal times rate times time. Okay, so what equation can we obtain out of this? Let's see what these are. Okay, what are these? This is your rate, 6%, right? 6% is your rate. That's your rate. And this is the annual interest. What does it mean? Annual interest. And that is your I. Okay, that's your I. So in order to find the equation here, we can plug in what we have here. Annual interest is 240. So that is your I 240 equals the principal, which is unknown, right? That is your principal. The X here is your principal. The amount of money you invest is the principal. In one word, it simply means principal. So that is your X. And the rate, 6%. Your rate 6% is equal to what decimal? What is 6% in decimal? 0.6 or 0.06. That would be 0.06. You'll be moving the decimal point two places to the left. 1, 2.06. So that means that this is 0.06. So that's the rate 0.06 times your time. It's annual, so that means it's equal to 1. That's equal to 1. And now you have 240 equals x times 0.06 times 1. What is 0.06 times 1 times x? That would be 0.06x. That's our equation. Now I think we have started solving already. So that's our solution now. Dividing both sides by 0.06, we can find your x. So let's divide both sides by, let's divide this by 0.06. 0.06. Okay? And then we can cancel out 0.06 so we can isolate x. Because x is right here, right? X is right there. We need to get rid of 0.06 by dividing both sides by 0.06. X is not always on the left. Sometimes it's on the right. So we can divide this out. 0.06 divided by 0.06 is equal to 1. And that will now be your x. 240 divided by 0.06. What's 240 divided by 0.06? Okay, let's divide that. Your divisor here is 0.06. Let's divide this. 240 divided by 0.06. You move the decimal point to the right so that we can make our divisor whole number right. So 1, 2. So 0.06 now 6. How about 240? The decimal point is at the rightmost. You move 2 places. 1, 2. Add how many zeros? 1, 2. So we have 2, 4, 3 zeros. Now let's divide. 2 divided by 6 cannot be. So now you consider 24. What's 24 divided by 6? 4. Okay, so that's equal to 4 exactly divisible by 4. In order to continue this, you simply have to count the number of zeros here. How many zeros do you have there? 3 zeros. So that means it's just 4,000. You just copy the 3 zeros. So it would be easier to divide, right? Just divide 24 by 6. It's exactly divisible, and it's 4. We have 3 trailing zeros. Copy those zeros, 4,000. So our x is what? It is 4. It is $4,000. Okay, so that's now our answer here. Our answer is the amount of investment is, or we can simply say $4,000. The amount of investment is $4,000. Or you can just say $4,000. The amount of investment is $4,000.